Good evening. Thanks to our honor string quartet for your wonderful music. It was very enjoyable. Thank you. We hope that you've enjoyed tonight's entree. We'd like to thank our culinary arts students and Chef Todd Leonard and Cody Thatcher for tonight's meal. Take a round of applause. We'd like to begin this evening by watching a short video on the University Awards.
Utah Valley University is on the rise. In a few short years since attaining university status, UVU has grown in a way that defies even the lofty projections of the institution's founders. Since 2007, the last year as a state college, UVU has added nearly 10,000 students to become the largest public institution in Utah, with more than 33,000 students and counting. This unprecedented growth is a testament to UVU's increasing quality and value in the public's eye and reflects the unrelenting focus and passion of the excellent people who dedicate themselves to forwarding UVU's mission. As UVU works to extend higher education to more and more people, the Herculean efforts of the university's faculty, staff, and administration make all the difference. In the spirit of honoring those who go above and beyond, the Board of Trustees and President Matthew S. Holland are proud to present the Awards of Excellence, the highest accolades given to UVU employees. This year, the Board of Trustees elected to recognize employees for their outstanding contributions to forwarding UVU's mission, and President Holland will honor 6 individuals for their exemplary efforts in promoting the institution's core themes and objectives. Thank you for joining us to recognize these champions of UVU and higher education.
This is a night as trustees that we look forward to all year. It is our privilege as members of the Board of Trustees of Utah Valley University to join with you tonight in recognizing those of you who have distinguished yourselves by receiving trustee and presidential awards. We recognize you truly exemplify excellence. We also thank you for your dedication and commitment to the mission of UVU in providing opportunities for students to achieve their goals and truly be successful, which is the ultimate goal for all of us. Tonight is your night, and we honor you. Helping me tonight in honoring this year's 5 Trustee Award winners are UVU Trustee Board members Curtis Morley, Karen Acerson, Doyle Mortimer, Carolyn Merrill, and Steve Lund. I invite President Holland to join me at the front and ask our trustees and award recipients to come forward in their order listed in the program, beginning with Matt Bambrough.
I was really excited to see that Matt Bambrough was nominated. One of the main criteria behind the Awards of Excellence is that the person has had to have made a significant contribution to the university. This was very easy to determine for Matt. To illustrate why, let me share an experience with you. Back when the school was awarded university status, a friend of mine knew I was quite involved with UVU and started to chide me that Utah Valley High School sure is moving up in the world. A little while later, that same friend came back to me humbly and said, I had no idea UVU was so amazing. All of the degrees, all of the awards, all of the amazing students it's producing. It's phenomenal. He'd mentioned all of the things that he'd seen on the billboards, the signage, and advertising created by Matt and his team. How has Matt contributed to UVU? He's been instrumental in changing the perception of the community from Utah Valley High School to the best institution in the state and beyond. Matt deserves this award without question. He's a consummate professional. His designs are not only artistic, but meaningful and memorable. Basically, the material Matt works on works.
Kate McPherson.
It is my pleasure and honor to present the Board of Trustees Award of Excellence to Catherine R. McPherson. Professor Kate McPherson's list of accomplishments is long and impressive. She attended the University of New Mexico, receiving her BA in English, summa cum laude, and her master's degree in English literature, graduating with distinction. She followed that with a doctorate from Emory University. You would all be impressed at her extensive list of published books, articles, conference presentations, research projects, and awards received. But what stood out to me were the many students who have been affected by her excitement for learning. She has been described as prepared, fun, enthusiastic, and lovely. Above all, the adjective lovely stood out to me. I don't think the particular student who said this was talking about her physical beauty, but about the lovely personality that is Kate. Kate loves to teach. She doesn't even care what classes she's asked to teach, although she has a gift and a special love for Shakespeare and Milton. She wants to help the students connect with the characters and recognize that the issues that are dealt with hundreds of years ago are still issues that we deal with today. Kate has blessed the community in many ways as well. She is the resident scholar for the Grassroots Shakespeare Company, a student-led theater company which makes Shakespeare more accessible to the wider community, and has an upper-level English class bring Shakespeare to the boys at the Slate Canyon Youth Center. This project has made quite a difference to the lives of the young men who have made great strides due to the confidence they have gained through their performances. She has led and will be leading another group of students on a study abroad program to England this summer, which she feels is the icing on the cake as far as teaching goes, and will be directing the UVU Honors Program in July of this year. In 2010, she received the Faculty Excellence Award for the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and was chosen this past year to receive the Outstanding Educator Award in her college. This is an especially gratifying award because the recipient is chosen by the graduating students, the same students who call her lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, Kate McPherson. I'm so honored to finally meet Kate. When I was researching her and writing this up, I was just amazed at what an impact she has made on this university and all of those students that she's taught. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
You are lovely.
Our next recipient is DJ Smith.
I am truly honored to present Dr. DJ Smith, the Senior Associate Director of Intercollegiate Athletics, with a 2012 UVU Trustees Award of Excellence. I have been acquainted with DJ for a few years, but it is said that you don't really know a person until you know about them. DJ is truly a genuine and remarkable individual. As Associate Director of Athletics, DJ supervises baseball, softball, and track and field sports. He also handles media relations, game management, and the athletic facilities. He is proud to be a Wolverine. Corey Duckworth, Vice President of Student Affairs, says that DJ made an outstanding contribution to the success of UVU athletics as he assisted the program from the ranks of junior college to NCAA Division I. Mike Jacobson, Director of Athletics, adds that DJ's media guides have received national awards 9 times. Mike says that DJ is extremely committed to UVU. He is the department comedian and is always positive. He will do whatever is required, even getting behind the wheel and driving the team bus when necessary. In addition to his work at UVU, DJ is dedicated to serving the community, doing this in a variety of ways. He is President-elect of the Orem Rotary Club and chairs their fundraising efforts. These funds go to several lesser-known charities that do wonderful work, but often struggle to financially function. Spencer Mack, past president of Orem Rotary, says that DJ is entertaining and committed to doing good in the world. Everyone appreciates being able to call him their friend. Last and most important, DJ is a committed family man. He and his wife Roberta have a blended family, and she says that DJ gets along well with every member. Roberta can count on DJ in every way. He is dependable, doing what he says he will do, and he allows her to be who she is. She often has to leave town to visit her mother, and when she returns, he always has a bouquet of fresh flowers waiting for her. DJ and Roberta often find themselves together working on projects until 1 or 2 in the morning. They have a passion for family history, enjoy singing together, and she actually taught DJ how to fish. He is a deeply principled man, and he will never violate his beliefs. In summary, she says their life is love, laughter, trust, and being together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DJ Smith.
The next trustee recipient is Richard Tolman.
It is my pleasure to award Dr. Richard Tolman a Board of Trustees Award of Excellence. Dr. Tolman is well known throughout the state as Utah's science guy. He has spent many years mentoring, practicing, and preparing teachers. It would take far too long to discuss the many types of workshops he has conducted, but suffice it to say that they are numerous and significant. Additionally, when first hired at UVU, Dr. Tolman was given the responsibility to refine the curriculum and implement the Bachelor in Science degree in Science Education with the College of Education. With that completed, and with his long-standing relationship with elementary and secondary science teachers throughout this state, Dr. Tolman now provides numerous opportunities for prospective teachers and interns to practice what they have learned with students. Dr. Tolman is currently working on developing a new Master in Science Education. As a trustee of the university, I look forward to hearing the details of this exciting new proposal. Dr. Tolman is deeply respected by his colleagues at Utah Valley University. Dr. Tolman is assigned to mentor assistant professors in both their first and third years of teaching, as well as serving on tenure committees of several others. Additionally, Dr. Tolman has served extensively on curriculum committees. He has presented in National Science Teachers Associating meetings that demonstrates that he is a national leader in science education. Dr. Tolman also is very instrumental in ensuring that 95% of our students are placed in jobs. Finally, the department chair, Dr. Mark Bracken, stated in his recommendation letter for this award that he believes that he can reasonably state that Dr. Tolman is the most respected science educator in the state of Utah. Dr. Tolman, we are honored that you are working at Utah Valley University. Congratulations on this prestigious award that you're receiving tonight. It is well deserved.
I just want to add, as a public educator, how important Dr. Tolman is in helping us in the schools, and just want to give an added thank you to him. Thank you so much.
The final recipient for the Board of Trustee Award of Excellence is Dr. Ian Wilson.
I am pleased to have been asked by my colleagues on the Board of Trustees to be the first to congratulate Ian Wilson as the recipient of the Board of Trustees Award of Excellence. Ian is from Canada, where he received his PhD from the University of Calgary. Thinking of Ian, I thought of the only other Ian of whom I'm aware who was born within the Queen's realm. Ian Wilson and Ian Fleming have this in common. They're both urbane, sophisticated professionals who are full of surprises. Ian Fleming wrote arguably serious spy novels, but he also wrote children's books like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Ian Wilson is a serious professional, but hidden just beneath his urbane exterior is a warm and effusive sense of humor. He is a gifted leader who consistently delivers consensus and support and a way forward in working with often contentious problems. His warm spirit of goodwill and respect for others has caused his colleagues to seek him out for leadership positions which he has never sought. 4 or 5 years ago, as I was personally becoming involved with UVU for the first time, I had a brief but memorable conversation with Dr. Wilson. He told me that he was anxious to return to the classroom. He is, after all, an academic, but had been tasked with administrative duties much of his career, and he thought he saw a window opening that would allow him to teach and write and lecture. Well, as you know, that window has not yet opened. I'm impressed, though, that while serving in his present demanding capacity as Vice President of Academic Affairs, he has continued to publish. As recently as August of 2010, he published an article for the Encyclopedia of the Science of Learning with his business school colleague Susan Madsen entitled Humanistic Theory of Learning Maslow. He obviously believes with President Holland that if leadership at UVU is about anything, it is about academic seriousness. This VP of Academic Affairs leads, as always, by example. Throughout Dr. Wilson's career, he has been recruited from pillar to post, as it were, serving where he was asked rather than where his heart would sometimes have taken him. Because of Ian Wilson's lifetime of serving where the needs have been most profound, we are delighted to award him the Board of Trustees Award of Excellence. Congratulations, Ian. Let me just add this comment. I'm told tonight that Ian's first job, one of his first jobs, was working up in Canada, where he's from, for a diaper service. This is a true story. He would go and pick up soiled diapers and then deliver clean diapers to the various houses, and he apparently got mixed up on his route and delivered the wrong items to the wrong houses and was fired. This is all true. This is all true. Now, some people would see that as a professional setback, but he saw that as a natural stepping stone into academia. Ian, we're so proud of you, and you've come a long way, brother.
We will now be privileged to hear a number from the UVU Vocal Jazz Octet. Joanna Blackburn, Kyle Christensen, Tilmar Lockridge, Casey McMillan, Laura Owens, Penny Peschel, Ryan Roberts, and Megan Workman. Thank you to the Jazz Octet. For someone who sings monotone, and whenever I sing, my kids tell me to shut up, you're ruining the song, Dad. I greatly appreciate it. We are now pleased to have President Holland present the Presidential Awards of Excellence. President Holland.
Thank you, Greg. I before we move on to the Presidential Awards of Excellence, want to take a moment and underscore my appreciation and admiration for our Trustee Award winners. They are all, each one of them, such exceptional individuals who've made such a tremendous contribution. And I also want to thank our trustees. This is something our trustees invest a considerable amount of time and attention to. It's easy to miss that, to just think that you know, the Trustee Award winners just naturally surface to the top. These are actually difficult decisions. We've got a lot of exceptional individuals here at the institution, and it's up to the trustees to wade through a long stack of applications. And it's been both fascinating and inspirational to me to watch them wrestle with these decisions and think about it and talk about that. So I want to pay my tribute to an outstanding set of trustees who propel this institution forward. In that spirit of the notion that there's really more deservingness out there than there are awards to give out, we, in addition to the Trustees Award, give Presidential Awards of Excellence. And these tend to be a little bit more targeted. Trustees Awards are for broad, long-term service in a range of different areas. But there are 7 or 8 categories of things that every year we want to at least pick out 4, 5, or 6 of these categories, individuals that have really demonstrated some unique contribution in this area. And so with that, we'll shift into the presidential awards here. And if I could ask Janet Colvin to come up. Janet is the Presidential Award winner for the teaching category, and Janet represents a high level of commitment to teaching in the classroom. Her teaching evaluations are always off the chart, but she's not just a great teacher, she's committed to the learning of teaching, if you will. She's a scholar of teaching. Not only someone who can teach, but who can write about teaching and help others become a better teacher. As an assistant professor of communication at UVU, She's routinely lauded by students and peers for her excellent contributions, as well as her nationally recognized contribution to scholarship in this area. So with this in mind, let's watch a video.
Janet has consistently offered a level of commitment and scholarship, innovation in teaching, and service to the department and the university that surpasses that of her colleagues. She cares for her students and their ability to learn. This care is demonstrated by her research emphasis focusing on pedagogy and enhancing the learning of our students. Last year, she published 2 articles on teaching and pedagogy in higher education and currently has a 3rd article in press. All 3 papers published in peer-reviewed journals featured her research on teaching in the classroom. Janet has also presented numerous papers at international conferences highlighting her research on teaching. In 2011, a paper submitted to the international conference hosted by the National Communications Association was awarded top paper at the conference. Given that there were over 6,000 academics attending this conference, this was an enormous accomplishment. Janet also presented a paper on peer mentoring in higher education at an international conference hosted in the United Kingdom, and another paper on communication pragmatics at the Inter-Americas Council Congress. As adjunct coordinator, she's responsible for more faculty and classroom planning than I am. Yet despite these responsibilities, Janet has found time to work on numerous committees to help the university and our growing department. She has led the way in revamping our program to improve the curriculum and the learning opportunities of our students in the department. In short, Janet does the work of 2 faculty members while at the same time contributing at a level of scholarship and teaching quality that exceeds contributions of other faculty with fewer responsibilities.
I've instructed Ian that moving forward, every faculty member we hire should be able to do the work of 2. And then our funding issues would go away. So Janet will lead the way forward for us on that front. Michelle Kearns is the award winner for student success. She is a tireless advocate for the importance of getting students committed to their success in higher education from the time they set foot on this campus. I think, as many of you know, as we have gone through and articulated the core themes for this institution, we've put student success at the heart of what this institution is about. And so Michelle is working tirelessly and effectively at the heart of the heart, if you will. Beyond her work in this area, she is presented on student success and retention concepts nationally and internationally, and is well respected in these important areas of university support. And I can't resist adding, is also the sister to Candace Gardner, my assistant, who really, truly runs the university. So I don't know what was in the water in this home, but these are some powerful women. With that, we'll watch video, Michelle.
It is a privilege and an honor to nominate Michelle Kearns for the Presidential Student Success Award. One of Michelle's great talents is her ability to strategically move a project forward while creating widespread buy-in in the process. For the past 19 years, Michelle has dedicated herself to developing campus-wide programs and systems to assist first-year students in being successful. She has worked in financial aid, University College, and currently directs retention efforts at UVU through the Student Success and Retention Department. Michelle is patient and persistent. Using the latest research and data on the first-year students, she has implemented a Title III grant that provides support programs to students regarding how to be successful in a university environment. Faculty and staff members are given best practice examples of ways to assist students in and out of the classroom. An example of one of the prevention programs Michelle supervises is the Early Alert Program, which assists faculty in getting support services to students while there is still time to turn things around in a positive direction. The purpose of the Title III grant was to change the culture at an institution. Michelle Kearns has been a key player in this shift for UVU. The Title III grant was successfully completed in December, with the final report being submitted to the federal government. UVU was pleased to report that retention has increased more than 25%.
Just as important, the programs are continuing with energy and passion under Michelle's guidance. Thank you, Michelle, for all you do to promote student success.
Now, it's true Candace runs the university, but I want to make clear she did not pick Michelle as the winner. That was the one decision I made a few weeks ago. Jane Loftus, if Jane will come up. Jane is the Presidential Award winner for Inclusion and Service. We talk often at UVU about being an inclusive institution, making it a warm and hospitable place for all, and serving those who sometimes are not included and underserved. And Jane provides an example of UVU's efforts in this front to extend opportunities to underserved and disadvantaged populations. She leads out on tutoring support program at Legacy High School, a secondary school for young single mothers in Springville, Utah, an extraordinary program that she's pulled together almost single-handedly. In addition, the program brings Legacy students to the UVU campus to connect them to the university environment. I also have to say, Jane is from the Outer Hebrides of Scotland. Not very many people know of the Outer Hebrides. I happened to live there for 6 months, and so when I walked in tonight and Jane and her Scottish brogue said, "Hi, Steve Roy," she thought I was Steve Roy, I was really taken home to my beloved Scotland, so, and elevated by the comparison. So with that, let's watch the video.
Jane Loftus hails from Scotland. Her Scottish heritage is part of what makes her such a colorful character in our department and on the UVU campus. It is with great pleasure that I introduce Jane for the Presidential Award of Excellence. Jane was just awarded tenure at UVU, and the most significant piece of work on her resume right now is her work with the Math Mentor program at Legacy High School. Several years ago, Jane saw a need for special attention among the young mothers attending Legacy High. She built a program with the help of the concurrent enrollment office to send student mentors out to the high school to work with the young moms and make sure that they succeeded in math. Jane herself spends a few hours each week at Legacy High helping the students. Aside from devoting her own time, Jane has been diligent about raising funds to buy computers for the school and to pay the mentors. Without her efforts, no doubt the entire program would have dried up very quickly. The fact that she was able to create a service opportunity as well as an engaged learning opportunity for UVU students, while simultaneously contributing to the success of an at-risk population of high school students, is simply amazing. Jane's service to UVU and to the community of Utah County is exemplary of UVU's mission, and it's one of the most important reasons why she deserves this award. Congratulations, Jane, and keep up the great work.
Brett McKechnie, if Brett will come forward. Brett is the Presidential Award winner for efficiency and effectiveness. We talk about being efficient and effective as an administrative imperative at UVU. It's the only way we survive as an institution this large in the middle of some of the economic challenges that we're facing. I'd been in office a little under a year when I made the only decision that I've been publicly booed for. And that was the very contentious issue of migrating from GroupWise to Outlook, which elicited a fairly significant boo from a large public audience once. This was a difficult task to take an institution of this size and significance and entirely change its fundamental form of electronic communication and do so without, hopefully, a hiccup. We refer to it affectionately as the Great Migration from Novell GroupWise to Microsoft Exchange during the 2011-2012 academic year. The UVU IT team leaned heavily on Brett's 2 decades of technical expertise and institutional knowledge when making the landmark leap away from the institution's legacy email system. a complex process on an unprecedented scale for UVU, and Brett did a magnificent job.
Brett McKechnie's worked at UVU for over 18 years now. And during that time, he's been a very integral part of almost every important IT project that we have done, from installing the first network on campus to our Y2K project that we had, to most recently the Great Migration, where we walked every faculty and staff student through a migration from Novell's GroupWise to Microsoft Exchange email system. This is a really intense project, one that affected every user, every desktop, everybody on it. There wasn't a person on campus that wasn't affected by this. Brett, he is a person that takes great pride in his work. You can see that in what he does. He's proud of UVU. He has much to offer the institution, and he is someone that I'm proud to have nominated for this award, and I feel like he represents all of us, as well as shows us all a great standard or a great example of what we want to live up to as an employee at UVU.
If I don't mess up the video here, I'm going to switch the order just a little bit, invite Jonathan Westover to come up. Jonathan is the Presidential Award winner for engagement. Is Jonathan here? Oh, there he is, okay. Engagement is one of our handful of core themes here at the institution as an approach to learning and teaching. And it's something that we aspire to. We relatively recently were designated by the Carnegie Foundation as one of the select community engaged institutions across this nation. And I have to say that I was simply astounded when I saw Dr. Westover's resume and vita and description of both the amount and quality of engaged learning he was producing on this campus for his students in classrooms, in research, in all aspects of academic life. He's clearly passionate about UVU's emphasis on engaged learning, and as evidence, among other things, his ongoing human resources management community engagement project. Additionally, he was given a Fulbright scholarship grant to teach MBA students in Minsk, Belarus. His Fulbright appointment helped UVU receive the Fulbright program's distinction as a top producer in 2011 and further bolstered our growing connection with that prestigious international scholars program.
My son-in-law, Adam Heater, now a practicing attorney in California, was pleasantly surprised when I mentioned a newly hired faculty member named John Westover. Though my son-in-law is a few years younger than John, they had spent several years as members of the same scout troop while growing up in Oregon. Adam related that in the lore of the troop, John Westover was known for being incredibly resourceful with all things, and in particular, duct tape. No repair job was too big, no hole was too large for John in his trusty role of duct tape. This came to a head when, while on a hike in the Cascade Mountains, Adam and the other scouts noticed that not only was John hiking in sandals, but the sandals were made entirely of duct tape. Now, some years down the road, I can add that John has built on his capital the characteristic of diligence. He's noted in the Woodbury School for his positive attitude and his incredible work ethic. This has been manifest in a number of areas, but none is so important to student success than his dogged pursuit of student engagement in his classes, in our classes, and in the university. I'm pleased to be able to sponsor John Westover for this Presidential Award.
Well, we'll now move to our final Presidential Award Excellence winner, J. Bonner Ritchie. It was a point of personal privilege I took to reverse the order so that we could end with Dr. Ritchie, whose impact it's hard for me to explain, both institutionally and personally. Dr. Ritchie is internationally respected for his academic work in organizational behavior. In addition to this academic work, he's recognized for a very human and real contribution in terms of mediating peace negotiations between Palestinians and Israelis, and has served as a management consultant to some of the largest organizations in the world and some of our most significant CEOs. In 2001, he came out of retirement to become a scholar in residence at UVU just at the time we needed critical help with our business school and the march towards university status, and his fingerprints are all over those contributions. On a more personal note, I have to say that Bonner Ritchie has been my teacher, and given my life's choices and career, there's no higher compliment I think I could pay to a human being. There's no way for me to fully convey my appreciation to him, the role he's had on my life as a thinker, as a writer, as a leader, as a citizen, a contributor, a member of civic and church groups. His influence is everywhere in my life. And so I'll invite him to come forward, and I know what I'm doing here, but I may regret it. I'm going to actually let him take the mic afterwards, so everyone prepare themselves. So.
Almost as far back as I can remember, I have recollections of my father speaking of someone named Bonner Ritchie in almost reverential tones. He was full of admiration for the work that Bonner was doing in making holistic sense of a tough situation in the Middle East. Later in life, I had the privilege of getting to know Bonner personally, first as an admiring college student, and later as a colleague and friend. I have come to better understand my father's admiration for Bonner Ritchie and to echo it through this nomination. Professor Ritchie has been serving as a distinguished professor in the Woodbury School of Business. He is also Professor Emeritus of International Organizational Behavior at the Romney Institute of Public Management, Marriott School of Management at BYU. Receiving his PhD from the University of California at Berkeley, he served on the faculty of the University of Michigan from 1967 to 1973, and on the BYU faculty from 1973 to 2000. Professor Ritchie has had visiting appointments at Stanford University, the University of California at Berkeley, Birzeit University in Palestine, the University of Jordan, and the University of Southern Europe. During the 1989 to 90 year, he was a visiting scholar at BYU Jerusalem Center for Near Eastern Studies, where he began a lifelong labor of love promoting peace in the Middle East. In addition to being a peacemaker, Bonner Ritchie is a great teacher. Not a week goes by that I do not hear from somebody speaking of how they were influenced by Bonner's teaching. At Brigham Young University, he was named Honors Professor of the Year, twice received the Exxon Teaching Excellence Award, and was given the Mazer Distinguished Teaching Award. In the Marriott School of Management, he received the Outstanding Faculty Award and the William G. Dyer Distinguished Alumni Award. Professor Ritchie's consulting management programs and publications are in the areas of leadership development, conflict resolution, managerial decision-making, international management, economic development, organizational philosophy, and ethics. He has conducted management development programs at the University of Michigan, the University of California, Stanford University, and BYU. Professor Ritchie has worked with many public, private, and volunteer organizations such as General Motors, AT&T, Southwestern Bell, Pacific Telesis, Exxon, Enron, General Foods, Citibank, the Arab Banking Corporation, the Department of Defense, the Navajo Tribal Council, Shell Canada, the Canadian Hospital Association, Save the Children Foundation, Hewlett-Packard, the Southern Federation of Cooperatives, the Royal Bank of Canada, and the state of Utah. Most recently, his efforts have focused on working with the Palestinian Authority on developing an effective working government in the West Bank and Gaza, with universities in Palestine and Jordan, with the governments of Jordan and Egypt, and on the Middle East peace process. Upon retiring from Brigham Young University, Dr. Ritchie found one more way in which he could give back to his community.
Starting in 2001, he joined UVSC to help guide the institution on its path to becoming a university. Over the past 11 years, he has served as a scholar in residence and as the interim dean of the business school. During that time, he has played a key role in strengthening the business faculty, advising presidents of the university, and serving as a public face for the serious nature of our institution. In playing these roles, Bonner has provided sound advice based on experience and study, while also allowing colleagues, deans, and presidents the room they needed to grow and govern in their responsibilities. For a lifetime of distinguished service in pursuit of creating more effective relationships between people and their organizations, and in particular for his magnificent service to our fledgling university, I congratulate Dr. Bonner Ritchie on this award. You are every bit the man my father told me you were.
I failed to mention that this category is for lifetime service, and it's truly lifetime service to this institution and to education in general. And as I said, it may be against my better judgment. I'm going to let him take the podium here. The other day he was being referred to as Dr. Ritchie by someone, and someone listening said, "Well, you're not a doctor," and his granddaughter said, "Yes, you're a doctor of words." So if you can limit this to 500 or less, which may be impossible, but I thought it would be appropriate to have him do this, not only as the reflection on a lifetime of service and a kind of summing up statement of sorts, but it's his last semester teaching at UVU, and it's just hard, frankly, to even think about that. Bonner Ritchie not teaching, that's like Scotland without rain or Big Macs without special sauce. It just doesn't seem to compute, and yet that's where he finds himself. And so with that, I'd love to have him take just a few words to share with us tonight.
As the senior recipient of awards tonight, let me thank the trustees and President's office and all of UVU for honoring us with their acknowledgement of attempts to make a difference. I'm deeply honored and appreciative of this honor. You know, I was thinking as Ian was here and Matt, if Ian and Matt had just listened a little more carefully in class, they would have amounted to something. You know, I saw hope in these guys, and you know, they've done reasonably well. But I just think, what more could we have done here? I appreciate the fact that I've never had a job. I spent a lifetime learning, teaching, serving some of the most special people on earth. And I'm honored to be identified as a teacher. I've had 23,000 students that have gone through my classes over the years, and I've learned so much from each one of them. And if I were to take advantage of Matt's invitation, I would talk about what I've learned from my colleagues and friends, but especially from my students. They've changed my life in so many ways, and I appreciate the opportunity they've had to help UVU get off the ground. Norm was a little overly complimentary in his statement of my contribution, but it has been really fun and really rewarding to see this institution grow and to work with faculty and hire many, John Westover among the group, and to try and aspire to something greater than just a school where people go to graduate and get a job, but to really make a difference in the world. So, trustees, president, all of you, thank you so much, and thanks for all of us who have been honored this evening for the opportunity to make a difference in this institution. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonner. Well, we again congratulate all of these outstanding individuals for their service and their talent rendered on behalf of this institution and education and the students of this valley. We thank all of you for attendance. Thank the trustees, members of the administration, the faculty and staff. It's wonderful to look out on the audience and see deans and colleagues and division leaders who are here supporting their people. It is a reflection, I think, of the sense of the community that prevails here at UVU, and we're delighted that family can be here. That's a priority for us, that we want these to be moments that are celebration, because we know that spouses, significant others, children often pay some sacrifice for the things that are required for the individuals to have done what they've done for this institution. So on behalf of Utah Valley University, thanks to all of you, especially to our recipients, and wish you safe travels home tonight. Thank you very much.